Good day, dear friends. Moments ago, the inevitable occurred. Hunter Biden has been found guilty. No kidding. This was a no-brainer. Absolutely no-brainer. There was no defense. I don't understand anything about this case. Nothing that these people do. Nothing. Ever can I ever understand? Nothing. Who in their right mind said right now with an election around the corner, specifically 147 days away, who was the jadrul who said, let's go to trial? The great Abby Lowell. Oh, he's so great. What was the defense? There's no defense. Well, how do you know he signed it? Don't do this. You mean during discovery, you didn't know how this gun owner is going to say, or shot because, well, there he was. Yeah, but how do you know he signed it? Because I was there. Well, maybe he was roughed through it. Maybe he was rushed. No. This is one of those ones where you're saying, what were you thinking? What are you trying to accomplish? What were you trying? Please explain this one. He's guilty of 3 felony charges. This is and the point that's the most critical is being missed. They found him guilty of 3 federal gun charges, making the first criminal conviction of a sitting president's son. Okay, fine, whatever. 3 hours of deliberation of 3 felony counts alleging he lied about the use of illicit drugs when obtaining a gun in 2018, and then lawfully possessed a firearm for 11 days. This came out about Hallie Biden, who was married to Hunter Biden's brother Beau before his death. She testified that crack made Hunter Biden agitated. I mean, all of this had, how do I say this? All of this could have been avoided. All of this could have been made unnecessary had they just not gone to trial. Plead guilty. Now we're going to hear about the brother, and he's stooping the wife of the dead brother, and he's out of his mind, and he's doing crack you know what my favorite one is? I don't even know where to start with this. My favorite one was, he was doing crack every 5 minutes. It's crack. Hello. What do you think? There's a moderate way to use it? You smoke it and use it until it's gone, and you're crazy. And these, oh my God, these lawyers who you put 20, 30 lawyers up, and each one trying to say something better than the other to make sure they continue and hope to get a gig as a paid legal consultant. And the best one is probably the most boring, seemingly not ready for prime time, Andy McCarthy, who is the best. Jonathan Turley is second, loves great phrases. And third, who knows? I just, look, everybody's an expert when it comes to legal stuff. So here's the thing. Number one, you insult the jury and you insult the judge when you take a piece of dog crud like this to trial. What's the purpose of it? What's your defense? I know judges who would be absolutely furious with you, saying, what are you wasting my time for? They're not asking for the moon. When somebody, for example, takes a case like this to trial, normally it means that they're asking for, they're going to habitualize them, meaning 3 strikes, you're out, habitual felony defendant. They're going to notice him. They're asking for some inordinate sentence where you say, we've got nothing to lose. That's number one. That wasn't the case. Number two, you've got a great defense. That ain't going to happen. How does Joe Biden and the Democratic machine not tell Abby Lowell, Hunter's lawyer, you're not going to trial, plead guilty, put all of your effort into sentencing? Make the judge almost feel bad. Look, he pled guilty. There's no defense, Your Honor. He's throwing himself on the mercy of the court. And then you bring people after people. Maybe a testimony. Remember that there was a phone conversation of Joe Biden who was on with, I think, talking about his son. I love you, son. I mean, he was sad. Look, you can hate Joe Biden all you want, but that's a father looking at his son. It's like, my God, this is the worst thing that's ever happened in the world. But then maybe you do that. Maybe you have friends. Maybe you have somebody who comes along. Maybe people who come along and they say, no, you don't understand how terrible it was. This was awful. He's always felt, ever since his Beau, for example, ever since his brother died, he was never the favorite. He was always the other one. He was always the less favored, the less important. He started to do drugs. We tried him. He tried so hard. And believe it or not, when it comes time, what I would really love, what you can't. This Biden family is so disgusting that they take this lunatic, this drug-addled, sick person, and they put him out. This kills me. They put him out for the world to see. And they put him in one of the biggest issues ever, one of the biggest stories ever. They put him out and they have him as the, how do I say this? They put him as the conduit, the bag man, the person responsible for the money, the person responsible for getting everything done. They put him out. Him. They risk everything. Are you following this? It's unbelievable. These folks have absolutely no sense of compassion or sense. He's been doing this for his whole life. Joe Biden is immune to this. He's had one job since he was 29 years old, senator, maybe something before that. He has lived in a world that you and I don't understand. We don't get it. We don't understand it. It's this weird shadow government, deep state, Washington royalty. It's the people who are so embedded in this system. They look at you and they laugh. They absolutely laugh at you. You think these people care at all about the rules? Are you kidding me? And when it comes to their kids, I'll never forget. One of the worst cases ever of a family that absolutely just let these kids go nuts is Bobby Kennedy's family. Bobby and Ethel. They were running around. They were just, what are they, 19, 20 kids? Who the hell knows? Bobby, heroin, this. See, they don't have time for that. It's about nannies and boarding school. Get the hell out of here. It's about them, their whole world. And the same thing goes for, and they think, the best part is they think they're kind of royalty. They think they're a version of royalty. They disgust me, these people. And Joe Biden risked his life and his brother putting Hunter in Burisma Hunter, and with all of these, you are you kidding? Let me see if I can explain this again. Joe Biden doesn't care what you think. Joe Biden says, you don't understand here, but I've been around here forever. Now, let me tell you the biggest story. And I was watching this. I have YouTube. And that's really what I watch. And I have this iPad, and YouTube recommends stuff to you. They always recommend you try this, listen to this, listen to this. And there is nothing on cable news that's even remotely worth watching. And somebody suggested the best thing to do would be for an acquittal. Have you heard that one? An acquittal. The best thing is an acquittal. And the reason for the acquittal would be it would once and for all show the rest of the world just how corrupt our system is. Let's hope for an acquittal. And he goes, oh, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Why? Well, it was different. Everybody just kept repeating it over and over again. Let's hope for an acquittal to show the weather. So people will finally rise up and say, oh, enough with this stuff. Hope for an acquittal. Biggest bunch of nonsense I've ever heard in my life. And because somebody said it, everybody said it. My friends, and I'm throwing a lot of stuff at you, so I hope you can keep track of it because it's in stages. I'm not shocked at the verdict, but I'm shocked at the reaction. One of the things is that, let me see if I can explain this to you, and maybe you can listen to me, and I hope you do, and I hope you take what I'm about to say to heart. And I hope you don't take it the wrong way, okay? Let me see something here. America doesn't care about anything. Let me see if I can say this again. Americans don't care about anything. What you care about, what I care about, what we talk about, does not reflect in any way the average American, certainly the average American voter. Median age 55, uneducated, I didn't mean to say uneducated, no college, 55, just whatever it is. America doesn't care anything about Israel, Palestine, Zionism, anti-Semitism, Hamas, ceasefire, Bibi, Benny Gantz. Nobody. America doesn't give a damn about that. They don't understand anything about that. Nothing. Whenever they see something, oh, look at these people protesting. Are they, as long as they don't mess the traffic up, that's America for you. America doesn't know anything. Nothing. America knows nothing about Ukraine. Nothing. Knows nothing about Putin, Ukraine, Russia, NATO, World War III, thermonuclear. Bill Maher, who is a jadrul, and where he came from, and who was it that said, okay, Bill, you're gonna speak. Hey, this is a free country. Bill, you're gonna speak. You're a comic who reads prompters, who thinks he's the smartest person around. Not only smart, clever. He wants to be the smartest guy. Dennis Miller used to do that to an extent, but Bill Maher does it so obnoxious. And he's one of these ones who's trying to figure out, what do I do? Am I a conservative? Okay, I'll be. It's like Dershowitz. Hey, I like this Fox News. They pay. Okay, I'll be Fox News. If CNN paid, I'm going to be on CNN. It's the way these things work. You know it and I know. But here's the best one. And you have to. Bill Maher was talking to today about, well, if ever there was World War III, with the nuclear bomb, there's going to be radiation, the radiation, huge swaths and plumes and clouds of radiation. And I forget who was talking to. They said, no, schmuck, this is thermonuclear. That was fissile. That was an atom bomb. That was Hiroshima. The new ones, there's no radiation. It's fission. It's fissile. I mean, it's not fissile. It's fusion. It's thermonuclear. It's a hydrogen bomb. That's not the problem. It's complete and total annihilation. But Bill didn't know because and that's these people. They just come out of nowhere. And they just say this stuff. It's like a runaway train. Fox News, MSDNC, for the love of God, say something. Go to Jeanine Pirro. Go to her. Why? I don't know. It's been 10 seconds. Come on, Faulkner. Go to her. Go to Andy McCarthy. Go to this one. But he's cleaning up. I don't care. Wire him up. Sit down. Start talking. There used to be these. CNN was the best for this. They had so many people. There was this expression, please forgive me, it's not mine, but it's called bitches in boxes. There were all of these people. It's like, who are these people? Just keep it going. Keep it going. Hope it gets viral. How many hits did we get? Bring on Al Sharpton. He doesn't know anything. Who cares? Hey, Rachel Maddow, say something stupid. I'm worried about Trump putting me in a work camp. Beautiful. Put her on. Stupid. Out of her mind. Nuts. Hey, Joy Reeves, come on. Say something stupid. Put on another wig. Put in the one that, it's a mop. I'm sorry. Put in another wig. That's good. Say something really stupid. Bring in Joy Behar. Come on, Joy. Can you sit down, Joy? Joy, can you sit down? Can you say something? Let's go back to Fox News. Bring that typhus guy, typhoid, whatever. Bring him on. I don't care. Bring anybody. Just keep this runaway train going. I want opinion. I don't give a damn what it is. I can't talk. And no more than a minute. No more than a minute. Why? Because Americans have the attention span of a gnat. I'd bring them in a minute. Just move them along. That's not the way to talk about this. Do you want to talk about this? No, I don't have time to talk about this. Quick, say something. Say something pithy. Say something. Give me a quote that can go so that the editor, some kid who's chopping things to put up online, something pithy. Use words like own goals or something. It's some phrase, something that doesn't care about. Nobody cares about substance. Americans don't care. And when it comes to Republicans, forget it. Bumper sticker, playbook, echo chamber, playbook. Just give us the usual stuff. Democrats, they don't even exist. Forget Democrats. That's America. The one that killed me the most is the Second Amendment. I was waiting and I'm waiting and I'm waiting and I'm waiting. You see, let me explain to you as a lawyer, I don't care about who the person is. I'm not hoping for a guilty verdict because I don't like Hunter Biden. That's not it. My analysis is not, if it's Trump, the reasonable doubt and presumption of innocence. But if it's Hunter Biden, no, I don't do that. There was another case, by the way, you never heard. I think Abby Loyal filed this. It was there's a tort, a civil case in Delaware. Something about exposure to false light, or I forget how it's libel, sort of. And they were putting out all this information. And Hunter was suing, I believe, the shop owner, based upon false light or invasion of privacy or something like that. Okay? All right. Now, when this happened, I said, I'm with Hunter on this one. They said, well, don't you understand? He abandoned his laptop. Yes, he abandoned his laptop. Did he abandon the information? Let's say you abandon your laptop. You go to a store and you forget it because you're either drug-addled or because you just forget it. Okay? Okay. And then for some reason or another, I get the information and I keep it. I keep it now. I said on my form, my repair form, after 30 days or 90 days, it's mine. So I go in and I take the picture of your license, driver's license, and I post it. And here's your credit card information, and I post it. And I pictures of you at a Christmas party, and I post it. What? Well, I own the laptop. No, but what about the data? This is something Scalia had a hard time with. What about the data? It's not about the laptop. It's about the data. It's obvious to you and me. Oh, no, he makes a hell of a point there. Oh, he's got a hell of a point. Now, when I said this to friends, especially my Trump fans whose idea is just wearing a MAGA hat. That's it. They wear a MAGA hat, okay? Thank you, pure blood, or purr, as I call it. They said, what are you talking about? We have to hate him. It's an absolute, it's an article of faith. You have to hate the Bidens. And that's not my politics. It's not about hating people. It's about the facts of the case. If President Trump does something stupid, I'll tell you. And I'm not a Republican. And I've got no time for these Republicans. They're biggest four-flushers I've ever met in my life. And what you don't realize is they spend more time having these hearings that mean nothing. If I see one more Jim Jordan hearing or Ted Cruz yell at somebody, or John Kennedy, should I call you comrade? What is this? Who is this? Chill Wills? Andy Devine? Who is this? You know, I had a coon dog. You had a what? What is this? His name was Jerry. And I love that coon dog. Excuse me, am I in the judicial nomination? Am I in the right? Excuse me, Clem, pardon me. Is this the hee-haw reunion? What are we doing here? And that coon dog, he's talking about a coon dog again. Can you even say that? We had to get rid of that dog. I'm sorry, Senator, your time's up. Well, I was a good story. What is going on here? Or MTG or Matt Gaetz yelling at somebody, hey, that was great. Nothing was accomplished. I know, but it was great, wasn't it? I love Marjorie Taylor Greene. Why? I just do. But what has she done? Well, I don't know, but she's funny, and she yelled, and then I've had it with these people. You can have them. They're worthless. They don't do anything. There's no Republican Party. What do they stand for? You should stand for the Constitution. And none of these big blowhards. By the way, there is no gun lobby anymore. There's every other kind of lobby. Every lobby. There's an Israeli lobby. There's an environmental lobby. There's a climate change lobby. There's a race lobby. There's a, you name it. You name the lobby, but there's no Second Amendment lobby. None. Because we're called crazy. I'm a constitutionalist. I believe in this thing called the Constitution. That's what I swear to. As a lawyer, you can't even be elected recording secretary at the Ho-Hogus Sertoma Club without pledging fealty to the Constitution. It's that simple. And the Constitution says, and Judge Thomas, under the Bruin case, said specifically, there is no exception to the Second Amendment. And what these idiots aren't realizing is that, great, you got Hunter Biden because he lied on 3 cases of being drug-addled. Next, they're going to do this. I'm sorry, Mr. Who are you? Oh, yes, I'm sorry, Mr. I guess you're were you a veteran? Yeah. We notice that you sleep with your weapon. Is that it? Yeah. Oh, PTSD. Oh, I see. Yeah. Are you on medication for that? Yeah. Did you ever see? Oh, you're clinically depressed, huh? Clinically depressed, huh? Yeah. From the war, I tell you. Yeah. The war that we sent you to, or the war that we. I see. I see. And you have PTSD. Yeah. You ever hear voices? Maybe severe depression. Are you under currently any medication? Ooh, SSRI. Okay. Yeah. 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 Drinking problem? Or are you in any kind of 12-step program? Yeah. Oh, so you're an alcoholic? Oh, you're an alcoholic with a gun, huh? Okay, keep going. Uh-huh. You ever had any domestic problems? A fight with your wife? Well, the police were called. One. Oh, the police were called. Oh, so you're domestic violence? Yeah, okay. Nobody was hit? Well, it doesn't matter. Well, you know what we're going to do? We have this thing called a red flag law. Hey! Isn't that great? We got a red flag laws. Anybody interested in that one? Anybody? Anybody love that one? The extreme risk protection order, they have them in New York, prevents individuals who show signs of being a threat to themselves or others from purchasing or possessing any kind of firearm. Sounds great, huh? Well, that's what they did with old Hunter. Hunter, he lied about being whacked out on drugs. How do you expect somebody to file a form? You know, years ago, which is interesting, we had this during my prosecution days and fun days. We did this thing where we had a case involving DUI. And sometimes we try this, defending somebody who's charged with drunk driving, because they're entitled to counsel too, believe it or not. And there was this thing that happened in every single time. Officer, what happened to my client, the defendant's car at the time? Well, we arrested him, yes. And what about his car? Did he have a car? He was driving a car, obviously, yeah. What about the car? Did somebody pick the car up? No. He left it there. He left it there? Well, yeah. He signed a release. Really? Signed a release. It sounds like 60 Minutes. Have you ever watched 60 Minutes? Or CBS Sunday Morning? They just repeat the question. Or whatever the person says. And I walked in and nobody was there. And nobody was there. Yeah. Yeah. As I said. And when I went there, it was funny because, the door was unlocked. The door was unlocked. Listen, Rita, Braver, whoever you are you going to just repeat everything I'm saying? Anderson Cooper does it. And nobody was there. I just said nobody was there. Why do you keep repeating what I'm saying? Because I'm trying to stretch this piece and to make it sound like I'm listening. So anyway, officer, when you left the car, did you have the defendant issue or sign a waiver? A waiver of liability on behalf of the city or the county for leaving it? Yes, it was a release, right? It released the county of New York or whatever from any civil liability in the event something were to happen to the car that was left there. Is that correct? Yes. Okay. Officer, you are aware that a contract or any instrument that is signed by someone who is under the influence is void. You're asking a drunk man. Well, I didn't say he was drunk. I most certainly think you did. Then they back off. So you're asking this drunk man who can't drive. You're saying, here, would you read this multiple paragraph release form and waive any liability that the city or county may have? Doesn't that kind of seem inconsistent? So he's too drunk to drive, but you're having him do what? For the love of God. It makes no sense. This is the part that I don't. So Tucker, let me get this straight. This is my favorite. Just a minute. This is the part that's the most important. So you're telling me that this guy who's so whacked out of his mind, he's crazy. He's filing. He's getting a gun. He's filing this. You're letting him do this. If somebody came in a coma and you put a pen in their hand and forced them to write it, that's no good. So I don't understand how bad can he be? Because they're saying he was under the influence of drugs, and I don't even know what this thing means. They're going to take your guns away, and they're going to be using this as an example, because what they're going to be saying is, see, we even did it with Hunter Biden. We don't care. See how fair we are? Nobody should have a weapon. Nobody should have a gun. Nobody should have a piece or whatever it is if they are troubled. And that's not just for, Republicans and, servicemen, but the president's son as well. By the way, he's not getting any, he's going to go do probation. It's no big deal. I'm still waiting. You think Alan Dershowitz cares about the Second Amendment? You think anybody, did you hear anybody on Fox News? All these hunters and all these people. You think anybody's talking about that? No. The Second Amendment is not a joke. It's not this, no. It's a guarantee. And the Supreme Court, thanks to Justice Thomas, in Bruin, this case said, no. There's carry permits. No, you can't license guns. There is a Second Amendment right. The Second Amendment speaks to carry, to bear arms, and the Heller case pretty much took care of that. This is the part that we find around it. This is the thing which is the most. This is the most important. I am a constitutionalist. I swear to God, I know that sounds so corny. I know it sounds like, and Americans don't know anything about that. Americans don't know anything about this. When it comes to abortion, everybody's like, well, abortion, a right to life, and this and that. Right to life. Do whatever you want. Do what you want. I happen to be right to life. No, excuse me. Pro-choice. What do I mean? It's so stupid for me to say, I'm not right to life. Of course I'm right to life. Anyway, I believe people or women should not be sent to prison who get an abortion. Because if you're against abortions, if you're right to life, if you say there are no reasons for this, then that means it's illegal, and you should put women in prison, and their doctors and their nurses and everybody else who's accompanied. That's ridiculous. But irrespective, that's up to the states. If Utah wants to do it, if New Jersey wants to ban abortions, whatever they want, it's up to them. If Georgia wants to have you can't sell liquor on weekends, the Constitution never says anything about the right to an abortion. That's what the Dobbs case said. It's very simple. It's very simple. It has nothing to do. I also happen to be against the death penalty, but it's permitted. Not only does the Constitution permit it, it guarantees it. You cannot be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law. Meaning, I can take your life, I can put you in prison forever, and I can take your stuff so long as I give you a hearing and an opportunity to be heard. It specifically says it's okay. And if you have a state that does not like the death penalty, it's up to you. So when these women are saying, "Oh, Trump was," but no. There is no guarantee to an abortion. It never happened. Never. It was ridiculous. And I'm with you. I agree. I don't think a woman should be put in prison. I'm not going to tell a woman you can't have an abortion. I'm sorry. I'll do everything in my power to talk them out of it. But the Constitution, irrespective of that, that's religion or thought or morality. But the Constitution, life, liberty, and property, there's nothing in there about abortion. Nothing. Those are the only protections. But those are due process protections. And there's this thing, I don't want to get into this right now, but they're talking about substantive due process. I want to tell you a story. I want to tell you a story very quickly. And this is why this is important. This is why the Second Amendment is important. This is why we need judges and why we need more, Alitos. And, oh, God bless that man. And by the way, Alito and Thomas, they want Alito to recuse himself, but not Judge Mershon. Alito has lifetime tenure. He's a lifetime judge. You can't get rid of him for a lifetime. Same thing with Clarence Thomas. And if Alito's wife wants to put a Gadsden flag or whatever, a treetop flag, who the hell cares? So what? Same thing with Thomas's wife, Ginny. I think she works for various conservative concerns, Heritage Foundation, whatever the hell it is. So what? So what? Oh, no, they've got to recuse themselves. Why? Because of the interest exhibited by family members. Do you think Judge Alito is going to change his mind or do something because his wife thinks so? Or do you think they happen to share the same ideas? And if they do, so what? But Judge Mershon, this is the New York trial judge who's going to be sentencing President Trump. His daughter seeks to make millions if certain Democratic luminaries, such as Adam Schiff, I believe, Kamala, perhaps, if her father is the first to sentence a former president to jail, prison, and he's like an appointed, he's like an acting Supreme Court judge. This guy's whole future depends on this, as opposed to two sitting Supreme Court justices who have lifetime tenure. You can't get rid of them. You can't. The impeachment was a Justice Chase, Simon Chase, but anyway. But the same Democrats will say there's no reason why Judge Mershon. You don't think Judge Mershon has a conflict here? No. What? The same people who don't think that Fannie Buhle is ever come. Anyway, so there's it's just hypocrisy, absolute hypocrisy. But this is about the Constitution. That's it. And the Constitution, you may not like the Constitution, but that's the way it is. Ladies and gentlemen, this is sheer genius. 1-800-Lionel now. Convicted of a felony? Call the number on the screen now. He may be able to help. Lionel now. By the way, please do not. This is a parody. I'm not associated with this. Thank you very much for that. Ryan says, I fail to see why a Hunter Biden conviction is so important. It's a gun charge, not anything to do with Burisma. That's the point. Ryan, yes. That's what he should have been charged with. Influence peddling, lying, bribery. Oh my God, theft of services. If this were Trump, can you imagine if Don Jr. had been Hunter? Oh man, they would have sought the electric chair. So what do? They throw him a bone. Get him on the the gun thing. Get something. And then don't forget, he has that tax case coming up in September, and that's going to be very interesting. Somebody asked one time, I could have sworn I heard, but I don't want to mention this nincompoop's name because I must have misheard it. They said, I don't know why wasn't Biden there in the courtroom? The president at a courtroom? And what? No. Ryan, the point that we're talking about right now is that the most corrupt, let me tell you something. The most corrupt president ever, probably, as you would love to say, psychopathic, a murderer, I don't know what you want to call it, but to make a long story short, Of them all, number one is LBJ. LBJ, he might have been responsible for his sister being off, Josepha. This guy you can't get near. But he was good, smart. He kind of got things done, knew how to work the Senate. The most corrupt, stupid president ever is Joe Biden. And that's precisely why he's there. The most stupid of stupid presidents ever. Beyond, there's no comparison. None. And for them to pick this drug-addled fool to risk everything. I don't understand. Why did Abby Lowell, why did we have to? It's the same thing. Why in the name of God did President Trump ever say, did not admit to having had sex with that strumpet, that harlot, Dusty Saddles, or whatever the hell her name is? Why not? Why? That called into question the whole business about whether they even knew each other, consequently, whether the NDA was, it was so stupid. What did Abby Lowell think he was going to accomplish by virtue of putting him on this stand? Or not putting him on the stand, but having all this come out with the widows of dead brothers, and oh God. By the way, special thanks this super chat to Rich People of America. Every day, rich Americans like Hunter Biden are convicted of felonies every day. That is why Rich People of America is here to help. See if you or a loved one qualify for RPA benefits. Thank you. Again, the level of genius of this cannot be put into words. The level of genius cannot be explicated in the least, not even limbed, dare I say. One of the things I wanted to do, and I would recommend, is that when you can stipulate. Here we go. Remember E. Jean Carroll? Remember that Moonbat? Remember that one? Okay. You know what I would have asked E. Jean Carroll for cross-examination? Nothing. Get her off the stand. She's not my witness. Get her off now. And then we clobber her in closing. Closing arguments. You can just, oh my God. Think about this in closing arguments. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I didn't want to say anything when she was here. Because, what does that mean? Well, just she looked a little. But do you think that the president walked into Bergdorf Goodman and said, a lot of people here? First of all, I don't walk into Bergdorf Goodman because even then he was the toast of New York. Everybody knew him. Here's a guy who says, hey, isn't that Donald Trump? Hey. Yeah, what do you hear? Well, I'm looking for some shenanigans with somebody in a dressing room, something that people can see, something that people can be a part of, something that could perhaps ruin. Oh, I don't have women who aren't throwing themselves at me constantly, who want to go to my apartment up there. No, I'm feeling kind of wacky. I want to go inside a dressing room of Bergdorf Goodman. That's me. I'm wacky. Okay? You can say that in closing, but you're not going to say that to her on the stand. You make it sound like she's a nutcase. Thank you very much. You can go now. Same thing with us, with the Dusty Saddles, with the Stormy Daniels, whatever the hell her name is. Think about that. This cross-examination was ridiculous. And you're an adult. Yes, get her off. How do you know some jury? What if the women of the jury hated her, and then when you came along, you just destroyed her and they felt sorry for her? There's nothing more demeaning to a witness than no questions. What? No questions. Thank you. Thank you for coming today. Have a nice day. Now beat it. You don't want to ask me a question? Nope. Why? You didn't say anything. What am I going to do? Then later on, you may be, in closing, because the issue wasn't Stormy Daniels. Nobody cared about Stormy Daniels. The NDA had nothing to do. Stormy Daniels had nothing to do with it. Don't even talk about her anymore. Don't remind people of her or McDougal or anything. That's not the issue. The issue was he had no intent to defraud anybody, and that the other crime, which we don't know about. By the way, you know what President Trump's biggest problem is going to be? It's going to that probation office, and he has to show remorse. He has to show remorse. And he ain't going to do it. And that judge will pay great weight to the recommendation of that civil service probation office. I've talked about that before, but believe me, listen, if you want to go on TV, you want to sit around in some group called the Reckoning or whatever these shows are on Fox, I have no idea. The Questioning, the Reckoning, the 5, the 4, the Reaction Zone. I don't know what the hell these names are. It's the same thing. You want to go on that? You want to talk about that? Or do you want to talk about reality? You want to talk about reality? Because reality is a different story. Do you want to talk what a lawyer would do? Or do you want to talk about this? You want to talk about what things really mean? Everything political? Does it matter? Yeah, sort of. Yeah. Jurors are absolutely microscopic, believe it or not, when they get the chance to make up their mind. I was absolutely gobsmacked by the New York jury coming back so quickly. 34 counts of guilt regarding President Trump. You're going to love this one. PBS, major funding for PBS comes from the Rich People of America Foundation, helping the 1% get what they deserve. And from the Edie Crowley Foundation, helping the uneducated become more educated. And viewers like you, thank you. Please do not take any umbrage at this absolute genius of this. This is, I don't know if anybody in the history of Super Chats or anybody in the robust history of live streaming has ever seen the likes of you, sir or madam. I don't know what. Meanwhile, you think somebody's trying to explain to Joe what's going on? No. You see Joe the other day at the White House with some soul music with who was it? With George Floyd's brother next to him. George Floyd, the saint, that wonderful wonderful bastion of American supremacy, George Floyd. And we also had what's his name? Billy, fellow from Kinky Boots. He was a man in a dress with a beard. This is Biden. America's so sick of this stuff, and some moron, some jadrul at the White House said, "I got a good idea. Let's put everybody together, and let's have a soul, right? All kinds of this, so Biden can sit there with that frozen, not moving, to show, augment, and emphasize his flat affect and animatronic-like frozen behavior. Let's do that." That's what I say. None of this stuff makes any sense. I still want to meet Abby Lowell and say, you went to trial with this? What were they offering? Plead open. Meaning, just go to the court and say, we're not making a plea negotiation. We're pleading right for throwing ourselves at the mercy of the court. You know what the sentencing guidelines are. You know what they are. They're not going to be dropping anything. 3 reasons you go to court through trial. Number 1, you got a great defense. That ain't going to happen. Number 2, they're offering you something that is so ridiculous because of your prior record. They're going to notice you as a habitual felony offender. They're going to 3 times you're up. 3 times, 3 strikes you're out, whatever it is. That's not the case here. And the 3rd reason is you're out of your mind. You just don't know what you're doing, and you figure, okay, I'll go to court. I don't get it. I want to know what Abby Lowell said. What do you think? What do you don't get some man on a stand and then ask him, are you sure he signed it? Yes, he signed it. Well, how was he? No. Because then the jury says, you're wasting my time. You're wasting my time. And by the way, that jury in Delaware, because they were thinking, nullification. After all, this is Biden country and Biden people are going to stick together. Oh, no, I'm not going to stick together. They're the opposite of what they do here in New York. In New York, this is non-MAGA country. And they come out 34 counts straight up on the jury form. Boop, 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 boop. Remember this, on the day of the day of the Trump trial, the verdict, even Judge Mershon said, okay, folks, we're going to go home now. And you have a nice day. And what was that? You got a verdict. A verdict. They didn't even know. Even they were shocked. That jury said, we done? Yeah. Give us how do you spell guilty? What about in Spanish? Culpable. There you go. Is that fast enough for you? See ya. We're out the door. And by the way, what's going to happen to Trump? Sentence time, 6 months suspended. This is my prediction. 6 months suspended. And this is the twist. 10 days for the contempt. People forget about the contempt. They always think about the sentence. To be served at the courthouse. Some room, something, not Rikers. He shows up. He's got to say Secret Service, whatever counts. He comes in during the day, goes home at night. That's the sentence. 10 days. Comes in, sits in a room, goes home. Kind of like the Rubber Room Squad for teachers, and kind of like, we used to have the thing called Penance Hall, PH, stay after school. And that's it. And this is after the election. If he is elected, count on Kathy Hochul to commute that sentence, because she can do the mistake course. And as far as the 6 months, it's going to be suspended. He'll never serve it. So technically speaking, that's what happened. He is not going to go to a physical prison. It's not going to happen. So stop this. Mershon wants to, but believe me, Mershon made the deal with the Democratic powers to be. I got this, right? You got it. Okay. By the way, Mershon didn't break any laws. Mershon didn't do anything. And it's not Alvin Bragg. It's Matthew Colangelo from the DOJ. That's the one. By the way, don't expect Jim Jordan to do anything involving getting to the bottom of that one. All right, my friends? Great. May I ask, do we have any brand new members? Oh, Bradley Oplin here. Bradley Oplin says, can the laptop be used as evidence for Joe now? Certainly. Certainly. As long as it is authenticated. As long as somebody says, this is what it is, this is what it says, and this is what it means. Absolutely. By the way, who's new here? Anybody new? Please subscribe to our channel. Who's new? Anybody new? Any brand new members here? Anybody who said, I never knew what this thing was about. And I came along here and I'm disgusted by it, or I love it. Anybody who? Just curious, because I always wonder about Nick Nightingale. Nightingale's been with us since day one. He's OG as far as I'm concerned. New Zealand in the room. There you go. Thank you so much. Kia ora, everyone. Is that filthy? 10% for the big guy. There you go. A big one. Not really. And by the by, where's everybody from? Give us a kind of I'm just curious, because during the day we kind of threw this thing together. Where's everybody from? Simple. Tell me your city and state. Don't tell me Ohio. Tell me the name of the city. The name is on your mail, not your address, but East Bone Slicket, Wyoming, Bug Tussle, Georgia, London, Las Vegas, Tromaville, New Jersey, San Diego. Oh, San Diego. We know San Diego very well. And that's become the illegal alien stop of all times. Largo, Ipswich, UK, Louisville. By the way, you're gonna like this, Lee. Whenever I ask people, I say, "How do you pronounce the capital of Kentucky? Is it Louisville or Louisville?" He goes, "Louisville." No, it's Frankfurt. Columbus, Ohio. Robert, thank you, Robert, for your sticker. Appreciate that. Bangkok, Thailand. Lock Haven, Fairfield, Ohio. Manchester, UK. Love it. Davenport, part of the Tri-Cities. All right, my friends. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Dublin. I love hearing this. Doesn't it fascinate you? This concomitance of viewing. Thank you so much. Look at this. Great Yarmouth. I love this. This sounds like something that Hyacinth Bouquet would be from. Yes, I'm from Great Yarmouth in Norfolk, in Great Britain. I'm a Briton, as it were. And beautiful. Oh, Lakeland, Florida, Polk County, Grady Judd country. Yes, sir. Ed Lee from Santiago, Chile. Beautiful. You got Auckland. All right, dear friends. All right, my brothers and sisters and theys, to our good friend too, Robert Salami, Bradley Oplin, PBS, Rich People of America, Ryan, and 1-800-Lionel Now, and Pure Blood, as it were. We thank you for your thoughts and comments and your fellowship. We will see you tonight. Please subscribe. Make sure you subscribe and hit that little bell so you're always notified of lives. We just threw this one up today. Kind of a surprise out of nowhere. And it was a pleasure having you with us. By the way, one day we'll teach you how to do this. If you can do this, you will learn something that will change your life for the rest of what's left of your life. You will have more fun with this than you can imagine. All right. Indeed. 7 p.m. tonight, we reconnoiter, as it were. Let me also remind you, dear friends, that my beloved, my wife, the smartest person I know, who is absolutely the most indefatigable in her desire to seek the, how do I say this? To seek the end of human trafficking and child predation. Please follow her on YouTube at Lynn's Warriors. This is the link right here. She talks more and more about what is happening. Today, she has a brand new video explaining how 2,300 kids are missing every day in the U.S. 2,300. And nobody talks about it. Nobody talks about it. And it is absolutely horrible. Tran de Aragua, this new Venezuelan kind of a cartel group, huge passels and organizations and cadres of criminal enterprises focusing and targeting children, human predation, child predation, human trafficking. Lynn's Warriors. Follow her, Lynn's Warriors, on YouTube right this moment. Go there now, Lynn's Warriors. And on Twitter, at Lynn's Warriors. It's LYNNS_Warriors. All right, dear friends, have a great and glorious day. See you tonight at 7 p.m. Thank you so much for spending time with us and honoring us with gracing the portals of our humble abode. And until then, my friends, remember these final words, this valedictory, this sayonara, the monkey's dead, the show's over, sue ya, tat tat.